This is the Avengers comic series Battle Hammer Thor. The figure is part of the first wave of the 3 3/4 figures for the Avengers movie toy line. Quick look at the packaging. As you can see, this is Marvel's attempt to make a rendition of the Ultimates Thor, and it's amazing how up to date the design team is with what's been. Here's the rest of the assortment with what's been going on in the comic books. If you don't read up on the Ultimates, the latest ongoing Ultimates comic book, a bit of a spoiler. Somehow, Reed Richards' evolved civilization, has killed off all the gods, destroyed Asgard, destroyed the Tree of Life. Thor has given away his hammer, Mjolnir, to his son, he has hidden away, and he has with the Tree of Life gone. He no longer has his godlike powers, and the only way he can become the God of Thunder again is through Tony Stark. Tony has given him the God of Thunder armor, which comes with a hammer, an axe hammer, which also allows the wielder to teleport. A bit of a spoiler, I do apologize, but it's a very, very good rendition in terms of sculpt and design as to what the current Ultimates Thor looks like. So kudos to that. However, I'd like to give a big, huge shout out to those nitwits in the design teams at the Hasbro Studios, whatever, who designed the Avengers toy line. There is a reason for certain articulation or articulated joints for a figure. Here is a case in point. This is the reason why you need wrist joints. There is a purpose for that. This is the reason why you need the waist joints and ankle joints. Some of the design team at Hasbro for this Avengers toy line might be thinking that kids could care less about articulation of a figure. Please do not insult the intelligence of kids today. Furthermore, by removing the articulation, you are alienating the 20% of your consumers, which are the collectors, the hardcore collectors, who rely on the figure's articulation to pose their figures. And for a lot of the articulation junkies like me, in particular, articulation plays a very crucial role in determining whether a figure will be purchased or not. So please, I know you've probably all they work 2 years in advance. They've designed, or a year in advance. They've designed all the figures. We're just waiting for all the figures to come out. So there's really nothing more we can expect. They'll probably have crappy articulation altogether. But with the upcoming movies of Iron Man 3, maybe Thor 2, Captain America 2, whatever, for movie figures, let this be a warning and a lesson for you designers, for the idiots who design I do apologize if I'm being so crass and blunt, but for those designing the movie toy line, to please don't scrimp on articulation. Scrimp on these worthless pieces of plastic. Kids don't care about this. If you think these things are going to attract the kids, you're wrong. Well, maybe your market research will tell you otherwise, but these are practically useless. You should sell these to McDonald's so they can turn them into Happy Meal stuff. But stick to what you do best. A big chunk of the collecting population buy a lot of Hasbro products, primarily because of the quality you put into designing a product, because it has better articulation. Scale-wise, they're smaller, but they're better detailed. And if you start removing all that, like for instance, you start with articulation and you mass market these things, you're going to slowly see your audience, your majority of your consumers, just altogether do away with your products. So I hope that doesn't happen. Now, having said that, the sculpt itself, if this were a statue, is amazing. whoever sculpted this and designed the figure is a genius. Absolutely phenomenal and very up to date with what's been going on in the Ultimates universe, and even the weapon. I'm very, very surprised at how quick their response is to what's been going on in Marvel, the Ultimates universe of Marvel. Anyway, going back to Sculpt, very good. Paint wise, uh, everything's okay. Most of it, at least. But I'll be nitpicking here and there just because I can. But if you are looking, and there are a lot of these on the shelves, at least here in Manila. If you're trying to look for the best one, first thing you want to look at is the paint on the face, on the head. Make sure that the beard is painted on well. Sometimes the beard is overlapping onto the lower lip and whatnot. Make sure that the beard is done very well. And next, the more obvious one are these electrostatic blue colored or all-spark blue colored dots on his armor. And as you can see, some of them have jagged edges and scratches and whatnot. And these six areas are going to have the worst quality control issues on paint apps. If you can find a figure with decently painted circles on his armor and a beard and eyes, then it's good to go. Everything else is fine. Okay. So articulation, he's got a ball jointed neck, which effectively is just a swivel joint because his head is too big and his neck's too big. Again, no torso or waist articulation. He's got ball hinge shoulders and ball hinge elbows. No wrist swivel. I mean, can you imagine? Didn't anybody think how he's going to hold his weapon with two hands if he had no wrist swivel? I mean, please use your brains, the guys at Hasbro. He's got this new and improved ball hinge hip joint, which allows you to just move the leg forward and backward and in and out easily without having to align. And again, as I said, the parallel orientation to the waist of the hinge joint, or perpendicular to the spine. He's got a thigh swivel and a ball hinge joint. And again, the silliness of this articulation is it allows you to rotate the thigh 360 degrees, which is really the reason why the Marvel Universe figures have a double jointed knee, and without a knee swivel is because the thigh already has a swivel and no ankle articulation. But again, as I said, well sculpted, decent enough paint apps. If you can find ones that are very little quality issues, but very, very poor articulation. He comes with two weapons: his standard Stark issued hammer, Thor armor hammer, which is pretty cool, axe hammer, and this particular weapon, which is called the battle hammer, I suppose, because that's what he's holding. Expanding hammerhead. Try me. Why don't we all just expand Thor's hammerhead? Just like that. Thor's hammer. Yeah, the figure comes with an expanding hammer head. Yes. It looks, doesn't it? Come on, seriously, folks. The nitwits at Hasbro, you honestly believe people will think this is a hammer? Seriously. Did you not look at the design of this particular weapon? That, fine, you could argue it's an Asgardian hammer, but it looks more like Loki's cosmic spear. Come on, I'm just thinking, hammer is usually flat and blunt, not sharp and pointy. Am I just missing the point here, or has common sense just left the building at Hasbro? Seriously, if this counts as a hammer and not an axe, I think there's seriously something wrong with the designs that Hasbro has been approving. So, an expanding hammerhead. Let's expand Thor's hammerhead. Okay, really, this one could fit Loki a lot more than Thor, in my opinion. But anyway, it is there. He can hold and expand his own hammer. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, final thoughts on the figure is, Should you buy it? If you're a big Ultimates fan and you just have to get an Ultimates Thor figure and you can't wait for Marvel Universe to get their get their act together and come up with an Ultimates Thor, then by all means pick this up just as a display piece, as a toy piece. Up with if you're counting on playability, very little. If you're looking to collect some of the Avengers toys and you don't really care about what goes on in the Ultimates universe, I think this is a pass for you. Your money is better served. Your money is better spent on figures that actually appeared in the movie, like Loki or Tony, Captain America, Steve, and the movie Thor, if you want. But in my opinion, this particular figure is solely for the collectors out there, the Marvel Ultimates Universe collectors. And if you're the casual Avengers collector, this is a pass. Yeah. So to rate the figure, because of the brilliant sculpt, he still gets a 7 out of 10 for me, and not a complete fail. So there you go, folks. If you like this video, please don't forget to add your favorites. Click the thumbs up icon at the bottom to know my latest toy purchase and upcoming reviews. Follow me on Twitter at tour.com/fxfrance. If you like to see more of my videos, please subscribe to my new channel on YouTube, Chefatron. And there you go, the Avengers comic series Battlehammer Thor. Thanks for watching.